Good morning, students, and welcome back to another new lesson on algebra. This is my second video on algebra, and today's lesson will be all about adding and subtracting algebra. Now, whenever we see and solve an algebraic equation, there are certain rules which we have to follow. So let's understand what are the rules. So the first rule here is BODMAS. Now, what is actually BODMAS? The BODMAS is steps which you will be using when you solve any algebraic equation. So these are my steps to be followed. So what are my steps to follow? Okay, now to make you understand, we always start from the top and then move to the bottom. So the first B stands for brackets. The O stands for order, which you will be learning in my upcoming videos. So this means order, and I can just simply write with a few examples. So what does order mean? And D stands for division. M stands for multiplication. A stands for addition. And S stands for subtraction. So why I'm telling you this, because when we solve questions, you have to keep BODMAS in your mind. So this is the easiest way to understand how do we solve any question given to us. So that's my rule 1. Now let's see what is rule 2. So rule 2 now is related to signs. Rule 2, check your signs. Now, what do I mean with that? I will explain you in a while with examples. Check your sign. That's my rule 2. Now, for this particular rule, I have to give you questions to make you understand what does it mean. So my example 1 states that if I have 2x plus 3x. Now, first thing you will notice is to check whether the variables are same or not. I check that variables are same. Variables are same, so I can add them. All right. So what do I do? How do I add? I add 2 and 3. So which will give me 5. And what is the common or the same variable? That is x. So I write x with my answer. Also, now looking at the signs with the numbers given in the question, I was having plus here, but there was no sign attached to 2. So whenever anything is not, a number is written without a sign, that actually means it is a positive number. So whenever you have a same sign, you add the numbers. So what we are doing, you're adding the number. Now let's see one more example. So here is my example 2. Using the same numbers, I have minus 3x and minus 2x. So both the negative numbers are given to me, but I can notice that the signs are same. Both the numbers have negative sign before the numbers. So the same sign I'm supposed to add. So adding 3 and 2 gives me 5. And the common variable is x, so I write x attached to it. Don't forget the equal to sign. Now, so you notice that in the previous example and the example shown right now, both were having same sign. The only difference was in the first one, I was having add and add. So that means both the number was positive. So we add them. And the second example, both the numbers were negative. So we add them. Already remember this rule, whenever the signs are same, you add them. Also adding one more thing to my example 2, whenever a number is having negative sign, when both of the numbers are having negative sign, the negative sign will also be given to the answer. So I will be adding a negative sign here as well. Why did I add it there? Because my questions, both the numbers were negative. Both numbers are negative. That is the reason the answer is also having a negative sign. All right. Now, moving to my next part, the same rule, the rule 2, checking your sign. My example 3 now. I have negative 3 and positive 2. So negative 3x and positive 2x, both the signs are different. When the signs are different, we actually subtract the numbers. So here, I have to take away 2 from 3, which will give me 1. And what is the common variable? That is x. So I simply write x. Also, whenever you are left with 1, you can leave the variable as it is, because single variable without a number actually mean it is having 1 as a number attached to it. All right. Now, one more example. That is my example 4. Now I take 4x minus 2x. Now, if you see, as I mentioned, whenever a number is without any sign, actually it is having a positive sign to it, or it is a positive number. Again, we notice that both the signs are different. So when the signs are different, we actually subtract it. So you subtract or remove 2 from 4 and you're left with 2. What is the common variable? That's x. So you write x here. So summing up all the rules told to you one more time, whenever I have same sign, that is positive, positive, or negative, negative, you add them. And when the signs are different, like negative, positive, or positive, negative, you subtract them. So this is all about understanding the rules to be followed when you solve any algebraic equation. Now let's see a few examples. All right, so moving to the first question here. It's a very basic question, which I have taken. It says y plus 10 equals to 12. I have explained these type of questions in my previous video also. I will be just giving you an idea one more time. So here we take the numbers together and leave the variable where it is. So I leave my y here only, equal to 12. When you're shifting your 10 to the other side, what is the sign before 10? That is positive. So whenever you shift to the other side, check your sign. The positive 10 will change to negative 10 now because you're shifting it to the other side. So 12 minus 10 will give me 2.
Mama, can I have this?
So here I get my answer as 2. So that's my answer. Let's see one more example. Now, as I mentioned the previous example, I leave my variable there only and bring the numbers together. So when you're shifting your 3 to the other side, check the sign before 3, that is negative. So when you shift it to the other side, it will change to positive. So 10 plus 3 gives you 13. So that's my answer. The missing variable c is equal to 13. So 13, 10 plus 3 will give me 13. All right. Now, next question here, doing the same thing. I keep my variable there, take my 10 to the other side, check the sign, it's positive. When it goes to the other side, the sign will change to negative. 10 minus 10 gives me 0. So C will be 0 here, and that's my answer. Doing the same to the question given here now. I keep my variable there. I take my negative 5 to the other side. When I take the negative 5 to the other side, the sign will change to positive 5. So K will be 15. Now let's have a look on more questions. Slightly difficult and using the rules of this changing of the sign. So let's see together how can we solve them. All right, so I write my negative v here only. Take my positive 12 to the other side. When I shift it to the other side, the sign changes to negative 12. Now 10 minus 12 gives me 2, but here is one thing which you have to remember and very important. Between 10 and 12, 12 is greater. And what is the sign before 12? That is negative. So my answer will also have a negative number, negative sign. Okay, sorry for that. So minus v equals to minus 2. Now here is the small thing which you have to remember. Your answer actually will be only 2, and you will be asking me why. Since the variable and the number both has a negative sign, we can simply cancel it and your answer will be the minus 2. The answer will be 2. All right. Looking at my P question now, doing the same thing. I keep my minus r 4, take your 4 to the other side, it's negative 4, so you will be changing it to positive 4. So minus r here gives me 8. Now if you notice the previous question, it was having negative sign to cancel the sign from the variable. However, it is not in this particular example, so my answer here will be minus 8. So my r is equals to minus 8, and that is my answer. Now let's move on to the last two questions on this video for today. I'll leave my minus y, the negative y, there only, and take my 3 to the other side. So 0 minus 3 minus y gives me minus 3. As I told you in the previous example, you can cancel the negative sign because it is present in variable as well as with the number. So you're eventually left with y equals to positive 3. Looking at the last question, 4 equals to, sorry for that, I keep my a, negative a, and 1, take your 4 to the other side. It's a positive 4, so the sign will change to negative. So it will be negative 4 now, minus both the numbers. So 1 minus 4 gives me minus 3. I can cancel the negative sign. So canceling the negative sign, a is 3 now. Students, hope you have enjoyed it. I will be making more videos on algebra and explaining you in my next video. Just stay tuned for that and keep practicing and enjoy your day. Bye-bye, everyone.